The Pitt DLC is bringing many new items into 76, besides Season 10 rewards, a new paid bundle, and free goodies. Bethesda is also planning to update the Atomic Shop with at least 17 new entries. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. The Pitt DLC is going to be a very immersive one, with dozens of new on-topic items, and the Atomic Shop will be no exception to this new trend. In fact, Bethesda has been creating lots of new on-theme items, which should reach the Atomic Shop in the following weeks. Among the new items are new Union cosmetics, new weapon skins, new decor items, more building tools, and even a brand new shelter, among many other things. All related to the Pit, of course. Well then, I hope you're ready. Let's dive into the 17 new items for the Atomic Shop, all for the Pit. As per usual, let's begin with some exciting cosmetics, all made in honor of the Union faction. This fall, players can expect to put their hands on this Union set, if that's what they wish. It comes with an outfit and helmet. It's a pretty casual set, with a sports button-up sort of jacket and plain jeans. On top of the clothes, there are some Union armor parts. Now, I know Bethesda is only releasing the power armor for now, but the normal armor paints do look exactly like this, so that's how I know. As for the helmet, it looks strange. It's like a pilot hat with metal tubes on top. Well then, it should provide a decent defense at least. Overall, these new clothes are a representation of the Union faction. Most members dress rather casually, so it is right in sync with your style. Here's a full preview in-game, so you can see the set from every side and angle. It's not so bad in my opinion, but it doesn't exactly convince me. It's like a bit plain and uninteresting. It's like you look just like another The Union Joe Doe, and that's it. There's no spark, no wow factor in here. Next, we have the Union backpack, which looks like this large leather backpack with a pretty casual look as well. The backpack features this attached oxygen bottle connected to a mask through a tube, ready for use, I guess. Sort of speaking though, because obviously players cannot breathe in or use the mask. It's all about the visuals. Anyway, this backpack is rather plain and simple. There are two leather straps putting the tube in place at the middle, and that's it regarding details. Even if it's not a very elaborated backpack, I think simple is sometimes better, and this is definitely a case of when less is more. Lastly, Bethesda also created a new Pipboy paint for the Union faction. The color scheme is made with yellow and black, and a little bit of white. You can find the Union logo on the arm wrap, as you can see in the screenshot, stamped in white paint. On top, there are also a few signs with yellow and black bars, indicating danger or warning. In this case, as a Pitt item, I would say it's referring to hazards, probably all the radiation in there, or real threats like the Fanatics or Trogs. It's a pretty nice paint with real meaning too, so this is probably my favorite from the bunch so far. The next item is also part of the Union items. It's this neon sign literally saying Union. The sign itself is made out of metal and the lights are neon yellow. However, this sign is really not that big. It's relatively small in comparison with other popular neon signs like the Heart 1 or the Kill, Laugh, Love. It's not so easy to see from afar even, so my only complaint here is that the sign is way too small. Especially for people with vision problems like me, you'll kinda need a microscope to see that. Yeah, it's too small. I mean, it's a faction sign in the end, so I really have no idea why Bethesda decided to make it like a miniature size. Either way, it's a new item, so I'm sure some players will find great use for it. The Pit map is marked by steel assets and devastation. As such, Bethesda came up with these unique The Pit rusty barrels featuring the Union logo once again. In reality, these are Union barrels, but in the game files they are labeled as the Pit items. So I guess we can safely and accurately call them both things. Anyway, there are three variations of these rusty barrels: white, blue, and red orangish. These barrels are pure decor though, so don't get too excited just yet. I don't think there will be any sort of possible interactions here. For those inquiring if it's radioactive, the answer is no, sadly, at least according to the game files. Lastly, for the curious ones, check out this in-game clip of the red rusty barrel as an example. It's definitely not that special, but it does look decent. As for the other two, it's the same exact asset, so only the color changes. If you enjoy building and you are excited about the Pitt DLC, then you cannot miss this one, the scaffolding set directly from the Pitt. It looks like this sort of makeshift platforms and stairs with rusty metal parts all over the place, metal tubes and metal wire. The perfect tools to build a proper defensive spot at your The Pitt camp, don't you agree? This small building set comes with 3 items, the straight scaffolding, the corner part and the matching stairs. All in all, these items create a wasteland ambient. I wouldn't immediately think of the Pitt while looking at those, but it's certainly post-apocalyptic as shown in this in-game clip. The feeling is definitely there, so I bet this will make the wonders of many builders out there when it hits the atomic shop. The following 3 items are part of another bundle, I suppose. Now, the Pitt fire hydrants are coming for free through Season 10 and free rewards. Here's an example of the red one. But Bethesda has created even more fire hydrants, a way more modern version, I would say. There is a red, gold and blue versions. The model/asset remains the same, just like in the barrels. As for the details, you can find 2 water openings, some metal chains, and lots of detail overall. At the top of the hydrants, you can even read an emergency instruction, used only for fire emergency. Anyway, as to be expected, this new item is a water source, so players will be able to collect water or directly drink from it if they want. Despite looking great, these new hydrants have been in the game files for quite some time now, I think at least 6 months, and I'm not entirely sure why haven't they gone live yet. Still, fire hydrants are an endless release, so it wouldn't surprise me if they made it live sooner rather than later. Well, the Pitt is all about that metal, and this new stash box comes right on theme. It's called Hoard Stash Box, and it's naturally a new stash from the Raiders. It's not clear which subfaction it belongs to, but it could very well be the new fanatics inside the Pitt, with all these metal spikes, mechanical logs, and that warning written in red paint. Don't touch. I would say blood, but it really doesn't look like blood. Regardless of the faction this stash belongs to, I think this is a very nice concept and addition to the wasteland. It's a Raider post-apocalyptic new stash with a free warning on top, which should please many 76 players and especially Raider fans. We are getting to the bottom of the list. Now let me show you the Pitt Steel Bust Long, a direct variation of this free reward called the Pitt Bust, coming with Season 10. Now, the Atomic Shop version is much larger and slightly different. The bust itself remains the same with a few cuts. The ears are gone, for example. On the sides, it's not there. When it comes to the outer frame, though, things are really different. For this long version, Bethesda added some sort of long rectangular steel frame with a few engravings there, which make it look way more elegant and eloquent. It's fancy, in other words. It's definitely one of the best the Pitt decors coming, and I don't think there are that many to start with, so just there, it's quite welcome. Lastly, Bethesda is releasing a brand new shelter, the largest one to date, according to developers who spoke at QuakeCon 2022. Now, I have talked about this one before in my news, but if you missed it, here it goes. The Pitt shelter is called the Neighborhood Square. Here's a small preview of the shelter entrance. The gates even have the Pitt written there. Then after going inside through a small tunnel, you can finally venture forward to your own personal corner of the Pitt. As shown in these Datamined screenshots, it's like Bethesda craved out a piece of the new map and made it into a shelter. I seriously hope the budget here is very high or building will become a challenge, in the sense that a lot of space will remain empty, like really empty. Well, even though this shelter looks spacious and beautiful in its own way, my question remains, how is this a shelter exactly? I thought shelters were supposed to be underground, all safe and sound. At least that was the logic until date. Anyhow, this is a fresh approach, a new strategy from Bethesda's part. I suppose they are testing the waters to see if this new type of open shelter works. Will it though? Well, I'm not entirely sure right now. I have mixed feelings about it. But what about you? What do you think? Do let me know in the comments below. So far, so good. These are all the Pitt items we discovered for the Atomic Shop, but there could be more on the way. Bethesda can be very sneaky when it comes to their shop. In fact, sometimes they just randomly release new items which have been there in the limbo for many months. So it's really hard to predict everything coming soon. As for the items featured in this video, expect them to come live sparsely across September and maybe even October. As for the shelter itself, it should come live on September 13, together with the new Season 10 City of Steel, the new paid bundle, and all the new content. Alright then, time to wrap things up. For more Datamined items, feel free to check my preview on the Pitt paid bundle with a dedicated building kit and the Fanatics Power Armor, among many other things. You can also learn more about upcoming Wildwood and Medieval items. It's a pretty new trend in 76. Alright then, do let me know which item was your favorite from the bunch. And that's it from my part. A huge thanks to Madogrod for sharing his Datamined images, and a huge shout out to all of you, my dear supporters. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. Now I hope you are having a good one. I will catch you all later in the next video. Until then, take care, adios, bye bye!